Hi everyone. So today I want to kind of do like a different kind of video, more of a story about myself. And with the title, I manifested good health in my wrist. So 2.5 years ago, I fractured my wrist in three places. The how, well, it's a little bit tricky of mentioning the how. I was kind of involved in a violent situation where it led to me kind of flying across the room. I don't want to go too much into detail because it is a touchy subject relating to domestic violence. However, what happened was I landed across the room on the floor on my wrist and I fractured it in three places. And it was such excruciating pain. I ended up going to hospital and waiting 13 hours to place my wrist back from here to here. My wrist was deformed, absolutely deformed. And I don't know how I even did that. All I do know is I slightly landed on my own wrist and crushed it. It resulted in me being in a lot of pain. That kind of situation brought up a lot of trauma, a lot of emotional pain. But that is for another video. So, with my wrist, I was in hospital a long time that day, and I got my wrist put back in order. I then had to wait another week and go back into surgery for number two. The next surgery, I had to get a plate and 12 pins put into my bone to bring back the bone together because my wrist was a little bit shattered and I required a specialist to fix my wrist. The reason being, I was in hospital waiting for surgery for 13 hours. A lot of that moment was very difficult for me, having to go through not just one surgery, but two. And after getting the plate and 12 screws put into my wrist, it took me out of gym, it took me out of life. Luckily, at the time, I worked from home, and that didn't really cause much problems because I could still work with one hand, typing. However, I couldn't gym, I couldn't do anything, I couldn't shower. It was a traumatic experience to go through. And then going through time, my wrist got better, but it started to hurt after a period of 6 months. When I flew back to Australia, back home, I noticed my wrist wasn't feeling great. And I went to see my doctor, and they basically told me I had arthritis at my age. And it really broke me. I did not think or expect to develop arthritis because of my x rays showing that. And that kind of destroyed me. I had a lot of pain in my wrist. I couldn't lift more than 20 kilos in the gym because it was so painful. I had to grip it a different way. And it really knocked my confidence. It knocked my gym progress and it knocked me. I was just so broken because I couldn't do handstands. I couldn't do push ups. I couldn't do things that I used to do. I couldn't hold a baby in my hand for long because it was just painful. I had to be put on so much medication that nothing was working, nothing was helping. And I just thought, do you know what? I need to get back to my normal self. I need to be my old self. I don't want this pain anymore. I don't want arthritis. I don't want to live life slightly crippled. So, what I did, I manifested good health. I manifested to fix my wrist. Whatever was going on, arthritis, not arthritis, I wanted to heal my wrist. And how I did that was I just wrote it down. I wrote down in my book that I recovered and I developed my strength back in the gym, that I healed my wrist because I've read so many books. I've seen so much of manifesting that I wanted to use this on myself. I wanted to heal myself. I wanted to just get through the process of getting my old wrist back and having no pain. A lot of the time, I would be at work having to shake my wrist at work because it was just so irritable, it was so painful that no medication was helping. And I was on that for 2 years. And I thought to myself, something needs to change here because I cannot live like this. At my age, at this young age, I've got so much potential at the gym that I wanted to progress into. My deadlifts, I wanted to progress, but I couldn't with my wrist. So what I did was I scripted in my book that I actually came across the other day that really shocked me because I completely forgot that I wrote this. I scripted this out that I wanted to heal my wrist. I wanted to get stronger. I wanted to see that recovery. And I remember writing this probably a year ago, which was on here. You probably can't see it that well, but I wrote basically recovery and strength. Thank you, universe, for giving me the strength and mobility, as well as the power back into my fractured wrist. I am so happy to be able to lift again. I am so grateful to have the mobility to bend my wrist again because I could not even bend my wrist. I couldn't even do a push-up. I could place my hand on the wall and all you would hear is my wrist clicking. And that was not good. I can now deadlift again and have regained back power. I don't feel pain anymore and I feel normal again. The scar has gone right down and I no longer worry about my wrist anymore. I am so happy to prove my doctor wrong. Thank you, universe, for giving me my power back. This will aid my training and be perfect for my future again. I will be able to do handstands again. I cannot wait. Thank you, thank you, thank you. That was my scripting that I wrote a year ago, and I completely forgot that I wrote that. I completely forgot. So, what I did was I wrote it down and believed it could happen, and I let go of the outcome. And after that, I went to see my doctor and I said, something needs to change. I need to see a specialist because I need to fix my wrist. I don't believe I have this arthritis. No, I don't have arthritis. I need to see a specialist. And what I did was I was put on the waiting list to go to hospital and be seen by a specialist orthopedic. After a year of being on that waiting list, I finally got into the hospital. But the crazy thing is, I went back to the UK for Christmas for 6 weeks and I came back home in the new year. And 2 weeks later, I had a phone call of a cancellation that I could go in for an appointment to see this specialist. And when I went in, I told the specialist, I have arthritis. I want to fix this. How can I fix this? So in my mind, I thought I had arthritis, but the universe completely changed that for me. I didn't have arthritis. I didn't have this arthritis that this doctor told me. I didn't have arthritis. And I took all of this medication to help me with my arthritis. The outcome of my hospital appointment was one of the screws in my wrist had twisted and was actually going into my nerve. And the specialist was a bit worried about my wrist and told me we need to get it out now. We need to get all of the pins and the plate out right now. So I had to go in a few days later and remove all of the metal in my wrist. And it was kind of a tricky procedure because one of the screws was piercing a nerve. However, I didn't lose any problems. I didn't have any problems with my nerves, which was the crazy thing. So after my surgery, number 3, I always told myself I didn't want to go back into surgery. I did not want to go back into surgery. I thought, leave the metal in. But what was happening, the metal, my body did not like this foreign object in my body. And I had a screw piercing my nerve. And the result was I didn't have arthritis. I would always tell myself, no, that can't be right. That can't be right. Why am I taking this medication? There has to be something else. I'm going to manifest good health. The universe pushed me into this appointment, pushed me into this fast surgery before this screw did any more damage to my body. And the outcome is I healed so fast after that surgery. After 2-3 weeks, I had a lot of movement. I went to physio, and the physiotherapist couldn't believe how fast my recovery was. I could bend my wrist back to normal really fast, and they couldn't believe that because I had such problems for years. My recovery went so fast, and 6 months later, right now, I feel normal. I feel normal. I can deadlift up to 100 kilos right now from 20. I have regained power. I have regained strength. I forgot that I even had a wrist problem. I forgot because my wrist is back to normal. I have no pain. After my 3rd surgery, I have no pain. I manifested my health back. If I didn't go see this specialist, if I didn't get pushed to see this specialist, my mind would think I've got arthritis. My mind would think, oh my God, I'm just going to be a bit crippled for the rest of my life. But no, I pushed myself to see a specialist. I had the surgery. The surgery went really well considering how difficult it was. Of 3, I still have a scar, but I'm healing. And it's something that I actually manifested. And I let go of the timing. I let go and I completely forgot. And it has come to me. And I am now pain free because I manifested my health back. And a lot of people will think, no, you didn't manifest. It's just a coincidence that you had a 3rd surgery and they took the pins out and you're back to normal. Anything could have gone wrong. You just never know. But my recovery went so fast that the doctors actually couldn't believe how great my recovery was going. And to this day, I have recovered and I have developed strength. I manifested that. And when I looked back into this book the other day, it really hit me that I manifested my health. I manifested my wrist to come back to normal after such a traumatic experience. And I start to think to myself, this happened for a reason. From the start to the finish, the 3 surgeries in between, the timing. I still don't know why I kind of went through this, but I always will find the answer in time. So that is kind of a story based on how I manifested my health, my wrist to come back to normal of recovery and strength. So if you want to try and manifest something good with your health, do it. Script it, write it down, close that book, and just believe it's going to happen. And it will.